All right, my loves, I'm live. So I'm just going to wait for my people to get on here and we will get started with this live. Now, we have seen along this journey a lot of people talking about low vibrational this and low vibrational that. I want to get into this right now because not everything that is expressed that is uncomfortable is low vibrational. This is where the conundrum is. There's a way of expressing yourself that's healthy but still gets the point across. Okay? So I'm just going to wait for more people to get on here. Hi, Deanna. Hi, Lilith. So I'm just going to wait for Aquaria to get on here, and then we can begin. So just to give you a little synopsis of what we're going to be talking about today, there's a couple of Bible passages that I have come across that kind of reflect what I'm talking about here. We're going to get into that first. We're going to get into how not everything that you express that's not of love and light, right, should be considered low vibrational. Okay, this is how the enemy uses your virtue against you. Okay, uses your own virtue against you, your own moral decency against you, because you are supposed to be in this utopian kind of where, and this is where the real conflict happens, because feelings that are considered quote unquote negative or low vibrational, it alerts you to something that needs your attention. Anger, jealousy, rage, all these things, and the sun is coming out as I say this, okay? They need expression, but healthy expression, okay? Because it's only unhealthy, it only becomes a problem when it's consistently stuffed down in the name of love and light, okay? You're not allowed to express any negative reactions to things, or you're not allowed to be jealous about something, or envious about something, or angry about something, or rageful about something. It's not natural. It's not natural. Don't forget, the only time that you're going to have these consistent, happy feelings is when you're in heaven and you're separated from your body. Okay, but as long as you're in a human body, you're going to be susceptible to its feelings and emotions, okay? And we can't look at anger, rage, all of these things as things that are definitely low vibrational or negative, okay? Because it alerts you to something that needs your attention. And it's only when it doesn't get your attention in the name of love and light that when you keep on, pressing it down and pressing it down and pressing it down, that it erupts. It's like a volcano. It needs its attention, okay? And there are ways of expressing this in a healthy way before it gets to that point. Before it gets to the point where, the way you express it hurts another person, right? So we're going to talk about that today. Hey, Carlene. Hey, Seawood. All right. Yes. Send me out a shell, honey. Alrighty. So these quote unquote negative feelings, right? It would be a little weird if something, okay, the injustice that we're seeing in the world right now, right? If it doesn't trigger feelings of anger within you, then you're either complacent or, then you're dead inside. To be a completely healthfully balanced person, you need to have an equal amount of your spiritual know-how and healthy expression of those human feelings. Because once you get it right there before it erupts into a fucking volcano, then it could be channeled in such a way where it's not going to hurt another individual. Because then once we don't check those feelings, okay, and we erupt, then that's where karma comes into play. Then you hurt another individual because you let it get to a certain point instead of expressing it right there, okay? If somebody says something to you that makes you upset, there are ways of saying it before both parties start hitting below the belt, right? Because once you start hitting below the belt, that I'm not being heard, so I'm going to hurt your feelings, right? Everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to be heard, okay? And when a person doesn't feel like they're being heard, it causes anger. And when that person is ignored, it erupts, okay? We are built in a certain type of way where these things are necessary. Anger, because they are the building blocks to change when you get it at its source, at its nucleus. If you let it become a volcano, then that's your fault. Express yourself. That's part of the reason why I started this channel to begin with, okay? Because me personally, I had issues with expressing myself and being heard, okay? But for 4,600 subs later, I guess I'm being heard. Okay, so this channel has been very, very helpful to me, for instance, with that regard. I've always felt like I wasn't being heard, okay? I was so quiet growing up. Right now, you would never believe that I was a meek, quiet person when I was growing up, going through school, okay? You would never believe that, okay? But once I found this, it helped me and healed me in that way. So I want to extend that help to you guys, okay? There are healthy ways of expressing these uncomfortable emotions. And you know why they're so uncomfortable? Because a lot of us are taught, it's not virtuous to feel this way, that way, and the other thing. When it says in the Bible, it that I'm going to give you these things that I saw. Hold on. Just take a look-see in your own time. I'm not asking you to do it right now if you don't want to, but I saw this here on an Instagram post, okay? We're told by the New Age community that we're not supposed to judge, that we're not supposed to do this, we're not supposed to do that. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay, so I'm going to navigate it to this really quickly before we get into the major subject matter here, okay? The biggest one that I want to point you to is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11. What do I do on this channel every single day of my life, practically? Expose evil. So what I'm doing is biblical. What I'm doing is of God, and it's what I'm supposed to be doing. Now you have your, naysayers that will have their opinion. Look, man, you're free to express your opinion, but the day that you put my face out there and my first and last name out there, we're gonna have a problem. It's and let that be a lesson, to anybody else that's considering exposing for the sake of exposing. Look, man, there's a difference between being a hateful twat that's just jealous and wants to cancel out, and with this cancel culture, that's very prevalent. Okay, cancel out anybody that could be in your mind taking your bag. Meanwhile, you're the one running behind the scenes doing all this candle work. Okay, please. Okay, I'm Ephesians 5:11 all day long, every day, all day, guys. I'm Ephesians 5:11. Okay, that's what this channel is all about. Ephesians 5:11. If you don't like me being Ephesians 5:11, then you can mosey on along to somebody that's going to be love and light. Okay, and pander to your delicate sensitivities. Okay. I'm not that bitch. I'm not. Never have been. Okay. From 2017 or no, 2016. Okay. Because I made my first video on here in December of 2016. My very first one. Okay. That's a long fucking time ago. Okay. So what I'm doing here is what I'm supposed to be doing as a woman of God. Okay. But that being said, let's get into these healthy expressions of anger. Anger only comes in when your soul is trying to tell you something is not right. And you guys, if you know anything about me, where my placements are and everything, my Libra is in my moon. Okay. I have a moon in Libra. Okay. And I always see that as, you know, how Wonder Woman has a belt of, I guess it's a belt of truth or a lasso of truth, right? But it's around her waist, right? So it's kind of the same thing. And I've always seen the moon kind of where the womb is for the woman, right? That's where I feel like the moon resides as far as like a physical placement on the female human body. It's in the womb part, like as a belt. Also right around your navel, okay, which that's where that, you know, that's where your seat of power is, right? Your will. And let me give you an example. A lot of people, you know, are waking up to what's going on and they're feeling charged with exposing things, okay? Just the other day, found out that one of the YouTubers here has been exposed for being a fraud. And I've seen a couple of videos and yeah, that person was completely correct in what they did, because I just saw this person, one of the Love and Lighters, you know, part of the New Age thing, okay? And it's a farce. It's a farce because, and I'm going to look at the chat in a minute. I'm kind of like looking straight ahead here. I see it moving. I'll get to you guys in a bit. I promise. And it's a farce because when you really have been watching this channel for a while, I'm hoping that you guys are learning stuff, how to do certain things and learning certain methodologies and ways of doing things. You know, I'm not just here to bump my gums. I'm here to teach. So I want you to implement this in your own life, right? And when you're watching these people, it looks great on the surface, right? It looks wonderful, right? But then you look deeper because, you know, people's voices have vibrations, okay? And when you see the toxicity coming out of that person's mouth, okay? Just because you say love and light a bunch of times doesn't make you any love or any light. Okay. I'm going to go to the chat for just a minute. Let me see here. Okay. Yes, see, with the usual wish. We live in the 3D, so we're going to have 3D responses. Exactly, Deanna. Have you ever, I want you guys to look at something. Like, we're being taught to not expose karmics, not expose the evil, not, you know, whenever we talk about karmics on this channel, there's always somebody that has a problem, usually a love and lighter, okay, or somebody that, you know, is a karmic themselves that doesn't want to be exposed. And they usually are the first ones that have a problem with the exposure. Well, you shouldn't be so, you know, I've heard it all the time. You shouldn't be so concerned about karmics. That's all you talk about. And it is like, you know, your voice is dripping with karmic disdain. Okay. It's like, if you have the only people that have a problem with the exposing being that it even says it literally, Ephesians 5:11. I'm going to keep referring to that. Okay. Let me write it down. I'm going to write it down. Ephesians 5:11. I mean, come on. Ephesians 5, verse 11. I'm a slow typer. There. Did I put it? Yeah, I did it. Okay. You know, a lot of times the enemy will use false light to try to cover the dark. What does that mean? If you're somebody that exposes things that are going on, and you know, a lot of you are no strangers to my work, okay? If you think I go hard here on this channel, you should see my Patreon. I mean, come on, I really go in. But my Patreon is, in case you're wondering, it's patreon.com/side-eyed strategist. Okay, I basically give you the lowdown on the mental thinking of the enemy. What's going on in the enemy's mind? No cards. Okay, this is like completely like, you know, getting into their mind and letting you know what they're thinking, what they're planning before they plan it and put it into action. That's basically what that channel is about. So if you're interested in that, go check out my Patreon. And shout out to my patron Keating. I don't see him on here, but shout out to my patron Keating. Thank you for your support. But the only people that would have a problem with this crusade, right? This work that I'm in charge to do. It's not like I can't do it, guys. It's not like I'm going to get any peace. Being that I was built the way that I was with the big mouth that I have, that I was going to be able to rest until I did what God wanted me to do. So, you know, if anybody has a problem with me exposing karmics and magic and all of that stuff, you know, I mean, take it up with him. Let's see how far you get. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to be a smart ass. I'm being completely honest. Take it up with him. Ask him. See how far you get. But even the anger, I've seen a lot of people that make comments like, oh, you're supposed to be a reverend. You're supposed to be this. And look at how you're talking. First of all, I even say it in my introduction. I'm not like everybody else. What were you expecting when I make a claim like that? What were you expecting? You know, something's going to be different. Some element of me is going to be different. Doesn't make me less effective. Doesn't make me any less truthful. Okay. So there's that. But anger. Let's move into anger here. Okay. When something is unjust, before it explodes on something where, in order for you to be heard, if part of the reason that you're angry is because you feel you're not being heard, then you need to tell the individual in a very calm, respectful way, while still being respectful of the other person, right? Before it escalates to this volcano, that once that volcano erupts, that's it. Okay, the damage is done. Okay, but before it gets to that, it's an indicator. Oh, no, this is not going to fly. Okay, then you need to confront the person. I mean, respectfully, nicely. Can we have a conversation? I've noticed XYZ. If you need screenshots, that this is what I've seen. Can you explain what this is all about? I had to do this one time with a individual that was stealing my content word for word. Okay, and you know how I feel about copying, guys. You know how I feel about copying. You know how I feel about that. And this was happening on Instagram. And I had basically DM'd the person. I took the screenshots and everything. It's like, what's this all about? There was no further interaction between me and this person. Okay. The person never responded, but she did take down that, the offending material. So sometimes you're not going to get a conversation, but you'll get action done, which this is what was needed to be done to begin with. And by that person removing it, they acknowledged what was making me angry. See, even if there's no like physical conversation, if the action is taken to correct what was making me angry, then we're all right. I mean, I since deleted and blocked the person and everything, just for that there's no temptation there to keep on stealing content. And that's the biggest indicator there of when you feel like when you're feeling angry. Don't push down your feelings, guys. I have never advocated for ignoring your feelings on this channel, ever. Okay. But I do teach you how to deal with them in a spiritually mature way. Okay. Have that conversation. Now, it's no, mommy, I'm saying now, not mom. She thought I was talking to her. Now, if that person refuses to do the respectful thing, then you have the law on your side. Take your screenshots and then do whatever appropriate action needs to be taken. Because anger, when left unchecked, can be a monster that's untamable. Okay? This is the point that I'm trying to make here. We're going to move into jealousy, envy, all of this stuff. Okay. It's like, yes, they're the 7 deadly sins. We talked about that on this channel before. This is not a secret. This is not news. Okay. I've been talking about this stuff. Okay. So let's check the chat one more time. Okay. We have a new moon in Cancer. So keep that in mind, why things may be going emotionally erratic. And we have to protect ourselves during this time. People love to do magic during the new and full moons. She's absolutely right. Because it's emotion. Nothing drives magic, and that doesn't make me a witch. Okay, for those that like to try to say that just because I'm teaching you about what is done, it's so that you can have some of that knowledge under your belt so you know what to look for. It's not because I'm trying to teach you magic. I mean, come on. Let's get it together. But they use the moon because the moon triggers emotions, right? And part of a spell, there has to be, you can have physical elements, but if there's no emotion, it doesn't drive the magic spell. It doesn't make it work, because that's kind of like the fire. That's kind of like the fire to kind of like, it's kind of like the plug in the outlet, that kind of thing, that kind of gives, well, I should say, actually, no, it's actually the wall socket that makes everything else work, that everything else plugs into, right? So like, for instance, if you've been feeling some negativity towards your DM or anything, you have to really double check where this is coming from, because Deanna just said it. A lot of people are doing magic right now. Okay, they're doing these spells and using this new moon energy because it brings things in. Okay, full moons are about completion. New moons are about bringing things in. Okay, and when this is done under the umbrella of the Janus ritual, it can be a little dangerous. Okay, there's the big spell that's going on. Okay, within the Illuminati and all of that stuff. That's another video. Okay, but then there are the smaller spells being done under that umbrella. Okay, so you have to really check your feelings. Okay, first check your feelings. Make sure that if you're feeling very angry about something or very rageful about something, that it's definitely coming from you, especially the twins that I'm talking to right now. Okay, because I realize there's non-twins that watch this channel as well. Okay, especially if you're a twin, check in with your soul. Find out, check in, ask God, what is this really my feeling, or is this coming from my masculine, right? Because don't forget, as the female part of this connection, you're doing all the feeling for the both of you. Okay? Because men are taught to repress their feelings. Okay. And then this is why I'm bringing this up, this rage. If you feel like you're not being heard, don't forget you're connected to this man. So you're going to feel what he feels. Okay. So if he's feeling fucking rageful, okay, you're going to start to feel it too. Okay. So this is why you have to, before you take any actions, make sure that those are your feelings. Okay. That way you'll know exactly where you stand on something. And if you are not sure that any action that you take should be being done, you should have your hand in it, then it's better not to do anything. If you feel a little trepidation as to what you are getting an indicator to do, you see, if it comes from God, there's no doubt. Okay. And it just flows. If it doesn't come from God, there's going to be doubt and confusion and everything. And you're going to not be sure about something. Okay. Then in that case, it's better not to do anything at all. Just let it happen the way it's supposed to happen. Let God handle it. Okay. Love you too, Infinity. I had so much emotionally erratic energy towards my DM yesterday. I felt him pull away because I got too real the night before about our relationship. And I think I started mirroring him and was. You see? See, there's a lot of the frustrations being, you see this separation, with this whole COVID thing going on and everything, it's like, it's really affecting us twins more than anybody else, because it's like, it's not like we don't see what's going on here. Okay. I mean, for this to happen, for COVID to break out 2020, the year of the twins, it's like, come on, that's a little too exact. That's suspect. Okay. And I did talk about this in that video. Okay. About what was going to happen in 2020. Okay. So, and I'll link it here. You can actually see it. It's in one of the popular videos section on this channel here. I forget which one it is, but I'm going to link it here after I'm done. But I basically go into this. Okay. And there's been, some notifications popping up on my phone, people telling me, I just found out this, and this, and I had predicted these things like about a year ago. Okay. So it's, sometimes even I am like, where the hell are you coming up with this, Bernie? That's a little out there, even for you. I know you're woo woo, but it's like, that's a little out there even for you. And then a year later, here it comes. Just as I said, all I am is a megaphone. That's all I am. I'm just a voice box. I'm just like God's voice box. That's it. Well, actually, that's Metatron. But I mean, if you had to have a human version of that, then yeah, I guess if you were to attribute it like an angel that I'm working with, it's Metatron. Okay. And about Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael doesn't tell you to do magic on people. So anybody telling you that, yeah, he's not going to tell you to do magic on people. No, sorry. He's not. But that, again, another video. So let's go back to the chat. Let's see here. Trust me, when I would take Deanna's advice, Lilith, because and you'll feel the effects of it. Trust me. Okay, I've done several cord cuttings over the past, I'd say, week or 2 weeks. You guys talk to me all the time, Deanna and Aquaria, and the effects of the cord cutting. You can feel that there was a cord to cut in the first place. You'll feel it. Okay, you'll feel it instantly. There'll be a shift, right? I was at peace into spiritual, forgot about DM for a month. Suddenly I started feeling sad and cried. He texted me a few minutes later. Wow. We don't speak for a month. I was surprised. You see? Hey, Snuggle Ronnie. Let's see here. I just don't want to miss anything here. Yep, exactly. Yes, Anastasia. She goes, Satan loves to transfer it into an angel of light, especially when the darkness is about to be exposed. I'm going to tell you, I've seen it happen time and time again that whenever Satan's about to be exposed by or through, I would say him himself is not exposed, but his workers working for him are exposed, right? So whenever one of us starts exposing those entities, they like to turn on the new age propaganda, with a quickness. I mean, and they like pour it into there. It's like, oh, you're not supposed to be judgy. Again, Ephesians 5:11. Okay. We're not here to, sit here and just watch things happening and not speak out on it. Okay. We're supposed to speak out on it. All right. So now we're going to move on to the feeling of jealousy or envy. Okay. There's a difference between jealousy and envy. Okay. They're not one and the same thing. Okay. Jealousy is you being territorial. Okay. It's something that you already have that you're protecting. Okay. Like if you see some woman is a little too chummy with your man and you become jealous, that's one thing. Okay. That's jealousy. Envious is coveting something that somebody else has that you feel entitled to. That's envy. Okay. There's a difference between jealousy and envy. Okay. Jealousy, like let's say, even in the same family dynamic, it can happen in family dynamics. Okay. Let's say there are 3 children, right? It's a family of 5. There are 3 children and you have your oldest, middle, and baby child, right? The 2 that are always paid attention to is the oldest and the youngest. The middle kind of gets lost in the shuffle, right? So the middle is going to be doing a lot of things for attention to, hey, I'm here too. Okay. And that comes from jealousy. It's not envy. Okay. Unless it's sort of a situation where, let's say there's a family tradition, going to the baseball park or something, or being on a baseball team or some kind of like competitive event. Anywhere there's a chance for competition, right? And let's say the oldest has all of these trophies in their room, right? Very highly decorated in that regard, right? And the baby kind of wants to emulate the oldest because you see a bunch of awards. You want to aspire to be the same way, right? That's looking up to your older brother or sister. Then you have the middle child and not interested in the family tradition. Okay. And the middle child tends to be a little bit of the rebel, right? In family dynamics, the middle child tends to be the rebel, right? The older child tends to be highly decorated because they came first. The baby is like the last one, so, that's the baby of the family, right? And then you have the middle that's trying to kind of like, hello, I'm here too, right? So they'll do things out of jealousy, right? Like I want some of that attention for myself as well. It's like, I'm seeing all of the attention and everything. It only becomes envy when they're all kind of doing the same thing, the same kind of family tradition. Reference again, the baseball, right? And if the middle child is not into baseball, say for an example, okay? And they do something completely opposite that's not sports related at all, let's say, okay, right? They do something artistic, right? They do something art related. But since this is more of a sports related family, it's like they're not going to have that kind of like, know what to look for or know what that's all about. But that's where you take an invested stance in what your middle child is into. If the middle child is more artistic than sporty, okay, it deserves just as much attention, okay? So that middle child will be acting out in jealousy and envy. Envy only if they're doing the same thing. Jealousy if they are not feeling seen and heard. That's where a lot of these psychoses, and this is where a lot of these pathologies stem from not being seen, not being acknowledged, not being heard. Okay, and that's where a lot of these quote unquote negative emotions stem from. Okay, because it's left unchecked. And then when they're told, oh, you're being silly, it's not that serious. It's not that serious, not validating their feelings. When a parent doesn't validate that child's feelings, then it becomes even worse. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Be careful with telling people around you who don't understand the divine connection. Your feelings, they're not going to tell you what you want to hear. They're only going to come from a place where they understand. Yep. People can only meet you at their level of perception. That's the only thing that can happen here. Okay. Like with this whole twin flame thing. Okay. People are only going to understand from their level of perception. And the only advice that they can give you is from a 3D level. That's the only thing that they can do. Doesn't make them wrong. It doesn't make them, bad, but it's that they are not experiencing it themselves. So they don't have a foundation from which to pull some information to be able to help you navigate this journey. This is why, the women on this journey are very blessed. I'm going to tell you guys, because men, even though, this channel, we don't bash the men on here. So you're very free to speak. We're not going to judge you. This is a no judgment zone here. Okay. So if you're a DM watching this, feel free to express yourself. Okay. We actually want to hear from you. We actually do. We actually want to see what it's like for you. We don't know what it's like to be a man on this journey. Only you can tell us. Okay. So let that be an open call to the DMs on here that, I know that I haven't spoken to you guys in a while, but, if you need a place to vent, this is a wonderful place to vent. Okay. You're very welcome to express yourself here. Okay. All you're going to have is a bunch of understanding ladies. Okay. That's all you're going to get here. A bunch of understanding ladies. It's like, you're going to get nothing but like that maternal type of, feminine loving energy. That's all you're going to get. It's like, we will be honest with you, and you'll grow to appreciate it once the ego goes away. But after that, you'll see this is a very loving environment. Okay. Thank you, Lilith. Thank you. I love my work. I enjoy what I do. It gives me purpose. It says here, Nadine is saying, so like when we DS felt ignored when DM was spending time with the karmic, that was jealousy. Yes, it was jealousy because, people are not property, but to explain this in a better way, it's like, we're very territorial. I can't say that word today. Territorial. Okay. Okay. Think about the lion and the lioness in the jungle, right? Lions are very proud and they have their lioness. If another lion tries to sniff around his female, he's going to get some claws to the face. Okay, there's going to be a big rumble in the jungle, right? So that's jealousy. It's not envy, because it's not something that he's coveting of somebody else's. It's something that belongs to him, and not from a property standpoint, from just because you know what this is and you know who you are, okay, and you know whose is yours, right, and what this is for you. So that comes from a place of jealousy. Envy is completely different. Okay, people do a lot of fucked up things for envy. Okay, you know, when you feel entitled and you feel like you should be having something that somebody else has, you'll do things to, and this is people that have not checked their envy. They have not checked it. Where is this envy coming from? What is this saying about me? Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like I'm not just as good enough to receive this as somebody else? You know, because this is where a competition is bred. Okay. You know, that's the whole basis of competition, is that, you know, somebody envies somebody else and, you know, tries to one up or whatever, because it really, seeing somebody else's success makes them feel less than, even though we're all pulling from the same pool here. Okay. But some people are meant to have certain things as part of their destiny. That doesn't make you less than. And you only incur karma when you're trying to do magic spells to try to stop somebody's bag or stop somebody's this, that, or the other thing. The worse you make it for yourself as the envious person. Okay. And check the people that call people envious. Those are usually the ones that are going behind the scenes and doing this work against people. Okay. I'm not the first one. Well, yeah, I am actually. Okay. Yeah, I actually am the first one that's been talking about this stuff. Backtrack on that a little bit. Let's not get that twisted. But I won't be the last. That's what I meant to say, you know. All right. I am the first, but I won't be the last. Okay. It's just, you know, sometimes, you know, the biggest revolutions happen when somebody breaks the ice. And that's what's happening right now, a revolution. Okay. Yes. Yes, Aquaria. Thank you for putting it into perspective. Yes. The karmics are very envious of us. It's really telling when a lot of us, I'm going to tell you, a lot of us should have been married with kids and all of this stuff already by now. All right. But there's a reason that this is happening. I've learned, especially over the past couple of days, you can't entertain the shoulds too much, because if it's being allowed this way, it's because it's being used to propel you to the next step. You're either going to learn something, you're either going to discover a new gift, or you're going to get some kind of epiphany. Okay. So it's not exactly a loss. Sure, this may be delayed, right? But think of the things that you're getting meanwhile. Okay. The only reason that this is being allowed to happen, allowed, quote unquote, okay, is because the fact that this has been happening has remained hidden from you this entire time. There are two reasons that this happens. A, because you need to see exactly who's doing this, right? So you know who to pray against. And then once you do, then when you talk to God, you have that little discussion back and forth. And the more you know him, the deeper that you know him, the more will be revealed to you. Okay. As much as is supposed to be revealed to you, because some things are even beyond our scope here as spiritual people. Okay. Some things we will just not understand. And we're going to have to just resonate ourselves with that. Okay. It goes back to that whole, Eve taking the apple. Okay. Some things are not meant for us to be known. Okay. Also, the reason I'm saying this is that if we know too much, we're being watched. Okay. If we know too much, we're a liability, and they'll come after us even more. So some things are purposely hidden from us, unless it's like a life or death thing, that it's a survival thing, then we'll be let know of what's going on. But if it's something that could get you hurt, right? God forbid, then you're not going to be privy to certain things. This is what I've learned. Okay. You're not going to be privy to anything. I don't care how many cards you pull or whatever. You're not going to be privy to certain things. Okay. And this is why a lot of people get frustrated with the cards. They get frustrated. It's like, 1,000 freaking clarifiers. It's not supposed to be clear. You're not supposed to know. Don't forget, I'm still God. This is, if you can think, see, the deeper you are in a connection with him, the more you understand how he thinks. Okay. And the more you understand how he thinks, the more at peace you are. It's like, okay, I know that there's a reason for it. Okay. A lot of the fear and all of these negative, quote unquote, emotions sprout up because we don't come from a place of understanding. We have to know because we just have to know. Maybe it's not for us to know, at least right now. That's not saying that's going to be on a permanent basis, because I've found in my experience that's never permanent. You'll find out when you're supposed to find out. Okay. But not a minute before. You had to build up the spiritual muscle to be able to handle that amount of information. Okay. So. Oh, wow. She has to stop messing with them tarot cards. She has to stop messing with them. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely, Deanna. Don't let these karmics distract you. Their days are numbered. I mean, literally. There's a date. There's an expiration date for this. Okay. Don't forget, there's a reason why this is amping up this year. Remember, I want you guys to look at that video that I had made. Okay. There's a reason why this is happening the way it is. Okay. If any of you remember the post that I had put on my Instagram, this was close to New Year's Day. This was with the hours, up to, when you ring in the new year. And I forget which one that I had recorded it from, but the guy literally said, and I have chills up and down my spine as I say this. Okay. I've seen so many sets of twins. I got a marriage proposal today, right? He's talking about all these things. He's a little theatrical in his delivery, granted, but the point was made and I recorded it. It's a good thing that I have a Roku here because I can rewind things. Okay, I love my Roku. And I could rewind. I was like, what? What is this? That's my reaction when I see these things. Well, then I'll share the wealth, right? So I recorded it and he said it. So many sets of twins. And when one of them was an engagement, is it any wonder why these things are amping up? Is it any wonder why these karmics are coming full force? And it's a little funny to watch them actually now, because it's almost akin to like a little yippity dog. Their anger is so big, but their body's so little, right? They're baring teeth and everything. You're supposed to be scared of them, but they're these little things with big teeth. Their bark is worse than their bite, right? And I just kind of wanted to make that a point. Anybody that comes for you, whether you're a fellow creator here on YouTube, okay, or anything like that, their bark is worse than their bite. They're like little Chihuahua dogs, like it's like, it's like they're over here barking at you, but they're not going to bite. They're not going to bite. They would never think to bite you. Nope. But they'll bark like hell. Okay. Like little yippity mutts, but they're not going to bite you ever. They won't want to get close enough because then they'll get a backhand and they'll go flying against the wall. I think you guys all remember my mother's dog dream. Okay. All right. So please with that. Hey, Keating. How you doing? Alrighty here. All right, we only have a few more of these to cover, okay? For instance, rage. Rage only happens when look, I've seen rage happen in the nicest of people, okay? When a person is repeatedly picked on and abused and doesn't feel like they're being heard, you're always going to be heard here on this channel. I just want you guys to know that. Anybody new that comes in here, you're always going to be heard here on this channel. I'm not going to delete and block you because it's something that I disagree with, okay? I can disagree until the cows come home. We all have an opinion, okay? Everybody's going to be heard, okay? Now, if it's misinformation, I'll calmly and respectfully correct you, but I will not, delete and block you because you said something different than what I've been teaching. That's not what a teacher is all about. A teacher is not supposed to have an ego. A teacher is not supposed to have an ego, okay? If you have an ego, then you're a narcissist, okay? And there's a lot of them in these spiritual circles, a lot of them. Reference to who I was talking to in the beginning of the live here, okay? And they're all being called out, all of them. So it starts. Didn't I tell you? I told you this like a year ago, more, okay? And I also did say that God would use the law as his right hand, okay? So let's go into what rage is all about. And rage, I've seen it happen, as I said, happen in the most meekest of people. There is the potentiality of a meek person flying into a rage when they are not being heard. This is why, and a little bit of revelation here, right? Yes, my delivery can be a little harsh, right? But if I feel like the message is not being seen or heard, it is going to make me a little bit frustrated because, damn it, man, I'm trying to help you, But for some people, that rage, if they are, at least I have a channel here to be able to express that, right? There are people that don't have that are consistently, picked on, bullied, abused, all of this stuff. And once they fly into a rage, it could be a dangerous thing, because this is like Jekyll and Hyde, right? This is why when you have a conversation with somebody, respectfully acknowledge their feelings, acknowledge their opinions, okay? This is how we prevent things from escalating to a volcano situation, okay? Don't dismiss people's feelings. It's our feelings are kind of the bumpers on this life, right? They're the bumper guards, right? If you didn't have these quote unquote negative feelings, you would be taken advantage of and not realize that you're being taken advantage of, okay? So these feelings are necessary. Don't overly entertain them, right? But there has to be a balance. You can't be in a utopia either, okay? You can't be like, la, 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 la. I don't want to feel the uncomfortable feeling of anger or any of this stuff, because I have to be love and light. I don't want to be low vibrational. Oh my, you know what? That's overused now. I don't want to be low vibrational. The only thing that's low vibrational is not checking it at the beginning. That's the only thing that's low vibrational. Okay, there are ways to acknowledge how you feel. Like if you're angry about something right now, you say it. What are you angry about? We will hear you, acknowledge your feelings. Not everybody's going to agree, granted, okay? But this, if this is the point that I wanted to make. When you are part of the spiritual circles, right? And you're kind of the rebel in these spiritual circles. In Aquarius, you're a rebel with me, but that's the Aquarius. Aquarians are rebels by nature. Okay, it's like fuck you and your rules, right? I'm sure Aquarius would agree. All right, nobody's saying that you shouldn't feel certain feelings, right? But the first thing to do, especially if you're a twin, is check if that is your feelings. Don't take any actions until you really know if those are your feelings or not. Okay? Because the actions that you're given to take, when they are of God, you'll feel peace with it. If you're still going back and forth about a decision, then that's not coming from God. Even if it's something that you were not prepared to do. Right? If it's coming from God, you'll feel a peace and a sense of being okay with it. Right? And wishing the other person well. Right? But if it's not coming from God, it's going to be met with all of these, the negative version of these feelings. You're human. You're supposed to have a full arrangement of feelings. Okay. You can't be, like I said, in a utopia all the time. This new age bullshit, would have you be in a utopia all the time. That's a bit of slavery if you think about it. I was having this conversation with Aquarius. It's like, if you're not being allowed to feel the full arrangement of feelings, then that's kind of like, you're not thinking for yourself anymore. There's another entity thinking for you. Okay? Because it's only when we fully feel our feelings, process them before they get to that volcano level, that a lot of times when we do it in this process, a couple of things happen. Damn, maybe I overreacted, right? Or, oh, now I see why that happened. Oh, okay. And then sometimes you wind up not being angry at the person that you were originally angry at. You understand why it happened along this journey, right? So I wanted to talk about this. So I'm going to go to the chat, see if you guys have any questions, okay? Oh, I love you, Deanna. You're so cute. See? And that's the problem I have with the New Age community. They're unrealistic things about how to express our emotions. If you express negative emotion, it means that you're not in the 5D. Come on, man. Come on. Last time I checked, I didn't have my wings sprouted yet. Not yet. They will, but not yet. It's not time to uncase my wings. Not yet. Okay, it's not time for us to uncase our wings. All right. But they would have you just stuffed down. This is how they use your own humanity against you. I mean, not just virtue, but they use your own humanity against you. Okay, that's a trick of the devil. He uses your own humanity against you, right? So you're not supposed to, if you've been feeling some kind of way about something from a long time, like from childhood, right? And you have not had a chance to express it because, either you grew up in a very religious household or, and there's also a distinction that I want to make with the case of religion. Okay. The 144,000 are undefiled. That means that we're not attached to a religion. So anybody using that as a case to try to discredit everything that is being said as the truth that you've heard on this channel and ones that, are in tandem with these teachings, is trying to deflect. Okay? Now, I'm not going to get into this too much, that's near future type of stuff. But just I want you to observe people, guys, right? Just observe people. It's like I say to you guys all the time, like I started in 2016 saying this. Keep your eyes and ears open, your mouth closed until it's time to open it. Okay? You'll know when. God will say go. He'll be very loud about it. Don't you worry. Not a moment too soon, though. Okay? Because God is very strategic. Okay? He's very strategic. He knows what he's doing. Trust him. He knows what he's doing. You don't have to understand everything. You don't. Okay? Because they are watching you, because they know you have a connection to him. That's why they're watching you. They're trying to get intel through you. Why do I feel like this shift has happened? I feel like it's the subtle emanations in the air right now. I'm not afraid of that beast. I'm not afraid of his ass at all. I will take one of them fucking horns and stick it up his ass. I don't fucking care. Don't play with me. I'm not the one. I'm not the motherfucking one. No. Nope. If I can boldly go to God and talk to him and ask him what's up, I'm marching right past your secretary and going right into your office. What's up? What's up? If I can do that, what makes you think that I can't, you guys, given the chance, I think all of us would want to take a fucking hit at the devil with everything that he has implemented and, done to people. A lot of people are in hell because of him, because of his influence. Yes, we all have free will. But it's them being of weak mind and listening to that motherfucker, that they're in hell now. But it's his fault. And just for that, it's like, given the chance, I would take a fucking, I don't think that I'm alone when I say that we are all angry. And we would all, and I hope he hears this and feels this too. I don't think there is not a single one of us in this spiritual community that would not take a fucking steel Louisville slugger upside his fucking head repeatedly. And that's the warrior spirit. No. But these new agers would have you, that's so low vibrational. So, okay, being a fighter for God is low vibrational. Is that what you're trying to say without saying it? Being part of the right side of the tracks instead of the wrong side of the tracks, being on the right team instead of the wrong team, that's wrong. New age is nothing but a big middle finger to God. That's all it is. It's all it is. And it will be exposed as such. Give it time, guys. Give it time. It's already happening. All right. Yes. Thank you, Keating. Look, this is the thing. I can't be lukewarm with this. I can't be a cold fish when it comes to fighting this battle. I have to be brazen. I have to be a little bit of a fucking hard ass. I do. If I start talking like this, are you going to take me seriously as a warrior? No. You would be like, oh, this bitch. Okay. And people have had their things to say about my cursing and everything, and they try to, but a reverend is not supposed to curse or whatever. You know what, man? Look, man, stop cherry picking. Stop cherry picking, because you see that people are going to awaken to certain things. My delivery is never going to be like the next person's. I don't want it to be. I want to be different. Okay? I don't know if there's any Aquarius in my chart, but that's the Aquarius side of me. Okay? That's the Aquarius side of me. Okay? The New Age community was literally set up by Satan. It's an old system being reintroduced. There's nothing new about it. Yep. Sailor talk. Yeah, well, I am what I am, right? No, it's not. Exactly, Aquaria. Thank you. Say it for the people in the back. How is loving and honoring your creator low vibrational? That's exactly it. Thank you, Keating. Do not be lukewarm or Jesus will spit us out. He doesn't want no weaklings on this thing, guys. Look, man, if you're going to be lukewarm, you can just mosey on along. You already chose a side then. You either be a hard ass about this and be a pain in the ass about this, okay? Because people are going to try to challenge you, okay? If you can take anything from a Taurus person, it's being stubborn. It's going to help you, okay? All right? Let's see here. And I don't have to mention any names about what people I'm talking about because their true nationality starts with the letter E. Yep. But we'll save that for the not going to talk too much about it here. Got work to do. Let's see here. I don't want to miss anything. Let's see here. I have a new channel in the. Look at that. Mm-hmm. They're trying to come after this. Look at this. Nadine says, I have a very new small channel, and in the comments, improper dating sites were being posted. I removed and prayed to Saint Michael and the angels to protect my messages. Yep. Look, there's a lot of those bots coming in trying to, infiltrate and try to make us look foolish, right? It happens on Instagram all the time. Something really needs to be done about that. So, for those on Instagram as well, something needs to be done about that. It's like ridiculous. Okay. You can have like a spiritual page up and everything, and then you get these likes from these bots. It's like, dude, I mean, get on it, Instagram, and start, doing something about it. Police this thing a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, it's ridiculous. You get spam bots and porn bots and all of this stuff. It's like, come on, man, stop. But that being said, guys, honor your feelings. I've always said it from the very beginning. Honor your feelings. Just because you're angry at something doesn't make you a bad person. Okay? But first check if it's coming from you. If you're a twin watching this, on either side, DM or DF, check if what you're feeling is you. Don't forget, if you're the DF in this that's watching this, your job is to feel. So what else are you going to do but feel? That's all you're about is the emotions. That's not only your superpower, but could it also be, if left unchecked, poison. You got to check it the right way. It could influence you to make permanent decisions on a temporary feeling. This is why I always say, guys, always make sure that what you're feeling is actually your feeling. Okay? As twins, this is just something else we got to do. If you're not a twin, it's like, yeah, you should take this advice as well. But, I'm really, really talking to the twins here. Okay. Which there's only 144,000 of us from the tribes of Israel. Okay. We're just going to just leave it at that. We're just going to leave it at that. Okay. It's not up for debate. That being said, guys, I love you guys very, very much. If you want extra exclusive content that I'm really, I kind of got to put it on Patreon because of the matter of content that it is, because there's too much censorship going on here on YouTube and everything, people like, flagging your account because they're jealous or whatever. I had to take that to Patreon. You know what I mean? So it's like, again, if you want exclusive, come to my Patreon, which is at the Side-Eyed Strategist. As I had told you guys before, I talk about what the other person is thinking, what they're planning on doing, and strategies you can implement to navigate this thing coming out unscathed. Okay. I sort of get into the mind of the enemy so that I can, tell you what's up with them, what their modus operandi is, all of that stuff. So check me out at the Side-Eyed Strategist. I'm going to put that here. Let me just make sure. Hold on. So I'm a slow typer, guys. Bear with me. Patreon.com/Side-Eyed Strategist. Okay. I'm running a promotion now on Patreon where you can get a sticker to show your support of this channel. That's for all tiers. And, you can't get it unless you go and visit. So you got to do the first part, then I'll do my part, right? So other social media, I'm on Instagram at Hoodies Truth Bombs. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. Yeah. So that being said, guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Share this message with other people that you think would be helped by it. And remember, just because you're angry doesn't make you a bad person. Okay. All right. Don't let these new agers tell you that's low vibrational. All they want is $200 for you to sell you their course. That's all they want. That's all. They want to make you feel like you are psychotic or, you have a pathology or whatever so that they can sell you their course. Okay. That's all they're trying to do. Oh, am I trying to go for your bag now? Bitch, please. Okay. People were a little wary of that. I just fucking voiced it. That's all this is about. So try to come for me. Try to. If you have any indication here of what my work is all about, what happened to the other people that tried coming for me? Okay. Rake them through the holes. Anyway, that being said, guys, with a little dimple in my cheek, I am going to bid you adieu. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless.